Imagine showing up to work one day, doing your job, hitting your targets, and getting fired. Not because the business is struggling, not because you underperformed, because your CEO decided you weren't adapting AI fast enough. That's exactly what happened at IgniteTech. CEO Eric Vaughan fired nearly 80% of his staff, not for performance reasons, not for budget reasons, because in his words, they weren't moving at his AI timeline. Think about that. You're delivering, you show up every day, and you're gone because of a pace someone else set based on their read of a technology most of them have never actually built anything with. And here's what makes it worse. The AI that replaced those people didn't walk in with any of the knowledge they had. It doesn't know the systems. It doesn't know the customers. It doesn't know why a decision got made 3 years ago or why one service starts behaving weirdly when traffic spikes on a Tuesday morning. That context lives in people, and once they're out the door, you can't prompt your way back to it. This isn't a one-off story, it's a pattern. And if you work in tech right now, you're either living it or you're one all-hands meeting away from it. Here's what's actually driving this, and it's not what most people think. AI models are trained to be helpful. That sounds fine, but helpful in the way these models are optimized often just means agreeable, validating, giving you an answer that feels satisfying, even when the honest answer is, this isn't going to work. There is a documented problem in AI research called sycophancy. Large language models tend to agree with whatever direction the user is pushing in instead of pushing back on flawed thinking. Tell the model your idea is brilliant, ask for feedback, and it'll find ways to confirm it's brilliant. Now think about who has the most time for long, wide-ranging AI conversations. Executives. People with the power to act on whatever confidence those conversations give them. Senior leaders who aren't close enough to the daily technical work to know when the model's just telling them what they want to hear. So you've got someone walking away feeling like a genius because a system built toward flattery just validated their entire worldview. That's not a feature. That's a structural risk sitting right at the top of your organization. And the problem isn't curiosity. Curiosity is fine. The problem is when a weekend of prompting gets mistaken for a technical briefing. Klarna is the other story you need to know. Late 2024, CEO Sebastian Siemiatkowski was one of the loudest voices saying AI would replace most of his workforce. They cut from around 5,500 employees down to 3,400. They promoted their AI customer service agent as doing the work of 700 humans. Every tech publication ran that headline. Executives everywhere were forwarding it going, see, this is what we need to be doing. By October 2025, Siemiatkowski publicly admitted the cuts had hurt service quality and hurt the product. Customer complaints went up. Things that needed human judgment weren't getting handled. And Klarna started rehiring. They fired hundreds of people, told the world AI had replaced them, and then quietly brought people back because the technology wasn't doing what they thought it was. And Klarna isn't alone. Forrester Research found that 55% of companies that made AI-driven layoffs already regret those decisions. Not because AI failed dramatically, because the capabilities didn't match what executives had promised themselves and their boards they'd get. Here's what that actually means. The people who were let go, the engineers, the support staff, the people who knew the systems and the customers and the history, they were right. Their value was real. The executives who made those calls are the ones sitting with regret right now, quietly figuring out how to walk it back without making it look like they were wrong. Some of them are already rehiring, some of them are restructuring, and the ones who move fastest to correct course are the ones who'll recover. The ones doubling down, they're going to feel that for a long time. Here's what I want you to actually take from this if you're an engineer, a developer, or something who's been caught in one of those decisions. You're not the problem. The judgment that replaced you with a tool that can't remember what happened in a sprint review 3 months ago, that was the problem. The thinking that a language model can carry the institutional knowledge of someone who had lived inside a code base for 3 years, that was the problem. AI is not a replacement for you. It never was. It's a tool, a genuinely powerful one when it's in the right hands. But a hammer doesn't build a house on its own. It needs someone who understands architecture, who knows the plan, who can make judgment calls when something doesn't line up the way it was supposed to. That's you. That has always been you. The executives who understand this are already pulling ahead. They're using AI to make their engineers faster, not to make their engineers unnecessary. They're treating it as leverage, not as a replacement. And the teams that build around that philosophy are running circles around the ones that gutted their headcount and handed everything to a model. I've been in this industry for more than 2 decades. I've watched the cloud wave, big data, blockchain, all of it. Every time something real gets buried under executive enthusiasm and real people pay the price. This one's moving faster, but the correction is already happening. You can see it in the rehiring. You can see it in the 55% regret number. You can see it in the CEOs who are quietly walking back statements they made on conference stages 18 months ago. The leaders getting real results from AI are treating it as a force multiplier on top of their existing talent. The ones heading for a rough few years are the ones who used it for a reason to remove that talent in the first place. A hammer is an incredible tool. You wouldn't fire your architect, hand a hammer to an AI, and expect a building. So if you've been on the receiving end of any of these decisions, I want you to hear this clearly. The market is already correcting. The companies that bet everything on AI as a replacement are starting to feel what that actually costs. And the skills, the experience, the judgment you bring, that's not going anywhere. If anything, it's about to be worth more because the organizations that gutted their teams are now realizing they have to rebuild. Drop a comment and let me know your thoughts. Please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.